So, this is gonna have a second star. Oh, this is gonna have a couple stars on it. Okay.
God.
So, this is
I wasn't prepared for the new triple game plus.
Well, we're not at the new game plus mode yet.
Oh my god. No, yeah. Like I was just thinking, like, okay, I see the Neo 2 new game plus pipeline. Buckle in.
I guess I haven't mentioned that. Because with Battle Network 2, so to talk about the stars that are here, let's talk about that, seeing as they're visible now, and you might wonder what the hell's going on. We grab the Battle Network. There we go. So, welcome to Meaman Battle Network 2 for the last time here, basically. Right now, you'll notice right now we have 3 stars on the continue. That's a side effect of the, just quick, cheating in chips on here.
As you do.
So, when I went ahead and just put in the, fill library to full, that fulfilled 2 of the 4 additional star, requirements. So, there's with Battle Network 2 and continuing games actually keep this multi-star as an achievement bit. We have the yellow star, which is game completion. Sure, cool. We have the red star for all chip, getting all chips. That one is 250 in game, though. When we go in game, if we go to save, you'll notice we're at 260, 261 even. There's also.
Well, I noticed that you're missing the mini game star, the happening star.
We don't.
You also didn't walk enough spaces, so
we are
no walking star for you.
Nah, we might get the happening star. So the purple star on there, the pink purple gravity suit star, is for getting the extra 10 chips. Those are from net battling and stuff. They're weird chips.
It's like co-op chips.
Yeah, because if I go in the library, let's take a look. We filled the library. That was the code we put in, and that just says we have all these chips. And so, the first 250 are normal. Hey, these are chips that you're gonna see. Leaf shield. Oh boy, next attack heals you. Then we have the different elemental auras. Then we have life auras, which these are
better.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Well, funny, life aura 1 and 2 are one are from the little bits. This one just has the freaking life virus full on it. Magnet lines, and then we have all these anti. We're gonna see some fun arts here: anti-fire, anti-elect, anti-water, anti-damage. Anti-damage is a really good one. Anti-sword. You catch the blade. Look at that. Anti-navi. Anti-recover. We have attack pluses, the fire plus 40, and navi plus 40. And then we have all the these ones.
All the V3s, all the V2, V1s.
I'm not gonna go all the way down and let's go really fast past them so we don't get to see the big ones. Once we go to 251, we get these these are the special chips I was talking about.
These are the Ajas.
Yeah, these are like you have to have an elemental form that matches in order to be able to use these. So like Aya Sword here is you need to have a wood form. Sparkler is you need to be elect. Freeze Bomb is water, and the Bi Red Wave is
you have to be bi.
Yeah, you just gotta. We also get Black Bomb, which we had seen sitting on the board on a Fight or Two, just like it's out there. And then these from the first game, Fighter Sword, Knight Sword, Hero Sword. These are all set as like special, like special chips. And then following up, we have Meteors and Poltergeist. Items are thrown at the enemy. So these 10 represent a different star because they're gotten in a different way. There are 2 stars left for us to get, and we're going to get those today. One of those, one of the stars we're going to get, where's my star bit? Hold on. Okay. One of the stars we're going to get is from finishing the World 3 area. That's going to give us the green star. The final star is over here.
Oh my god.
This is the Program Advance menu, where the memos, where you get to see Program Advances. If we fill this out, that'll give us our final star, and there is a prize for getting all 5 stars. It'll be the last thing we show off for the day. So, on that, there's also one last bit that isn't the star that I'm going to use a code to show off, and that is that there is one specific style that is like a ultimate style, and we'll show that off at the end as well. But first, we have to go back to we gotta go home.
So I'm guessing for the last style, you're going to need to do some weird setup, because unfortunately, the part where you have to fight Lands Nobody is only in the international version. Though I guess like they backported that stuff into the HD version. We're gonna have that in the collection, is the thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the collection, and it takes a lot of grinding because you have to go into final form, and like, but you can't lose all your drive as you go. Like, you have to hit a save point and go back up into the gummy ship.
I mean, honestly, that's fine because I fucking love that fight. It's so good.
Okay, here's the thing.
8-man star, huh?
This is actually super important. In my inventory, I have a bunch of star V3s that I got from just putting in a Game Shark code. Those chips exist, and you can get them from the gacha here. And so, like, getting 8-man star, this is maybe the most powerful chip in existence in the game. Because, when we're not playing under 8-man, when this is Gateman, usually it's Gateman G. But if you have Gateman Star, Wind and Fan, the other parts of the Program Advance, are in Star. So once you have Wind, Fan, Gateman, and Star, you no longer need to care about what, code your folder is. You can have it in anything. So this is literally the ultimate power for every folder. Not for us, though. It heals the enemy for 900. You're crazy about it. Thanks for the
We're gonna use it once for the PA, I guess.
Yeah, we already have the PA.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's that chip right there. And one of the things to note, so here's 8-man star again. Yep. One of the things to note about 8-man is that the Gator Program Advance does not scale in damage based on what version of Gateman you're using. Gateman 1 and Gateman 3 are the same damage. So again, 8-man star doesn't matter. It's the most powerful thing you can get. Iser. We'll play the gotcha a little bit. Invis 2.
I mean, Nintendo's going to, like, be on your ass about cheating, but you're providing a much better service for the Wonder Trade. Hey, at least you're not throwing fucking Pidgeys out there, because that's what their system's like. You're actually contributing.
Wait, there's a Magnet Man Haze. Bar Sword. I should put that in a... That one's actually important to show off. I need it for a program advance. I just wanted to roll the gotcha a little bit here. Well, you can see I still have a code on that's giving me 99 of these Mega Man, so whatever.
I'm glad that you just pulled 8-man Star right out of your ass first try.
Yeah, like, well, here's the most powerful... Literally, there is not a chip in the game I can think of in Battle Network 2 more powerful than Star Gate Man. Ooh, it's Fire Rat. That puts a rat on the board, but you have to hit it with a fire attack. It's very powerful if you're in a fire... It's very powerful if you actually have fire like style.
Even without being able to play Magic all that much, it's there's still a joy I feel in listening to a seasoned Magic player goes, "Oh, that puts a rat on the board."
That puts a rat on the board. It does. There's a hilarious bit with at this point kind of older set where one of the most powerful cards that ever existed for the set well, that's actually really good is just a card called Pack Rat. Like it's a game of you know giant spells and wizards and summoning creatures and stuff, and in a certain format, the best thing you can do is you play one rat, and then you discard a card to make another rat, and then you discard a card to make another rat, and then you discard a card to make another rat, and your opponent kills 2 of the rats, but it doesn't matter. You discard a card to make another rat, and they're dead.
Look, I've seen the stupid shit that you got up to with bees that one year.
Ooh, hang on, Leaf Shield. Leaf Shield's neat. It's a shield that heals rather than... Oh, thank you, man. Heals rather than, like, just blocks, which is, a cool thing to have. It's also on a pretty reasonable code. Yeah, I figure I'll do this for a little bit before we get into the big combat part of the day. The big thing about today is that in order to finish off what we have left, we need the Triple S license. Fireblade Z, that's nothing. And the Triple S license is a 30-part fight. We're gonna take a run at it, and then if we need to take a second run at it, we're gonna take a second run at it, and if it needs to go further than that, we're gonna Billy Mitchell it. So, what does Gate Man's chip do on its own? Great question. Folder. If I go ahead and take a look at Gate Man here, you know the attack that Gate Man has that makes those little soldiers that walk at you? That you kind of have to either shoot or side dodge. Gate Man fires 3 of those soldiers. So it'll do 40, 40, 40. Each version adds another, pretty sure it's just 10 damage on that.
Okay, so just 60, 60, 60 max.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. It adds a soldier. Damage is the same.
Okay.
So it goes to... What this means, though, is, like, right here, this attack plus 30. Attack plus 30 is already really powerful with the Gator Program Advance, but attack plus 30 with Gate Man alone is also just really goddamn good.
Because it's adding to every soldier on the field.
So instead of 40 times 5, you get 70 times 5. So that gives you, like one chip plus 30. Instead of doing 200 damage, it's now doing 350. Or you could use a Navi plus 40 chip to make it double damage, you know, something like that. So that gets really neat. Yes, so yeah, even alone, Gate Man's already a powerful chip. Kunai 1. Perfect, a slow gauge. Slow gauge is only really useful if you're either A, using Cussed Sword, or B, PvPing.
I do really appreciate this era of games where it turns out it was like retroactively a really strong fit for randomizers. Because they'll just put any fucking idea in there, and you'll never really experience it except through the magic of the randomizer, where you're forced to.
That would be a really, really cool, like either a chip randomizer or so you end up using some of these really hard to get chips more often. I don't know if you can randomize the actual like progression stuff, but like that definitely would be neat if you could like, you know, just sort of like roll what you know. Rather than like, you know, you've got this here where you just, okay, instead of your normal chips you just end up with a set that's like, all right, the enemy dropped pop-up. Damn, that's actually really strong. There's Rush. How you doing?
Hey, there's Rush.
Well, not Rush, but Rush.
Yeah, Legends Rush.
Yeah, pop-up is, so this game has multiple different invincibility chips. You have Invis 1, Invis 2, Invis 3, which are different durations, but they're like, you're fully invincible. You have Shadow, which turns you into Shadow, but you're like a Shadow, you're going to get hit by sword attacks. And then you have Pop-Up, and while Pop-Up's active, you're under a hole, and you're only visible while you're attacking. So you can only get counter hit.
I was also thinking, what if you could randomize program advances, like Treasure of the Rudra style? That'd be fucking dope.
That would be wild. You'd have to, like, so you'd have to make them still usable, like, code-wise. But, like, and, like, have some way to know them, but that'd be cool.
I mean, like, baseline, make sure the animations don't crash the game. But then you could go that one step further, and Mega Man could just, like, shoot the word fuck at someone, and it does 50 void damage or whatever.
Oh, Fan. Again, Fan, what you need to do is you need to beat Fans with an S rank to get, like, a star Fan. Or, you can buy 3 of each. I don't actually know if you get a star Fan for beating them with S rank. You might have to either use the... There's a way to refresh shops, basically, by beating the game. Buying chips and beat the game. So you can buy chips up to 5, even if only 3 exist in the game. We haven't used that at all, but it's... Oh, there's Shadow 3. Alright.
Okay.
Anyway, let's go get this done. We have a big fight. We have a big combat gauntlet to do. Alright,
yeah, I never did really like this chapter of Paper Mario.
I always enjoyed this chapter of Paper Mario, but, like, it went on a little long, you know? Anyway, 30 viruses in a row, you can't recover HP.
I like the idea of that chapter, I just would rather it be 5 fights instead of 10, or 20, or whatever.
I would have taken 5 and 5 with a break getting Yoshi in the middle.
Yes.
Alright, drop down's also the same as pop-up? Yeah, wow. That's funny.
I mean, you are just, like, zooping up into different planes.
I do enjoy that it's a different, description. This one is invisible until you attack, and this one is invisible except for attack. Alright, the only thing I'm looking for as far as, like... upgrading this, like, right now I don't think, like, our setup here is just very strong. We don't really need to change it up too much. The one thing I might want to include is just a little bit more healing for the 30 fight, you know, bit.
Attrition is a bastard, yes.
Wouldn't hate putting the Muramasa.
Yeah, you probably put the Muramasa on.
We earned that shit. like that's ours.
Yeah.
Like I didn't put it in like these 90 Proto-Mans or whatever. Nah, we earned that shit. Recover 200? Who put the recover 200 in?
Yeah.
That can go...
With the Muramasa in play, it just means that it stops being about HP recovery and more about HP control.
Right, we want to be, like, we want this to deal damage, but we don't need to be at, like, 0 for it to kill, right? What the hell are we fighting that's gonna be at, like, we need 800 damage, right?
I mean, by the time we need Muramasa to do any significant damage, we will be at the back half.
Alright, here we are, we're starting with Mets. Alright, all about the Mets, baby.
Let's go Mets, baby, love the Mets.
Alright, are we quick enough? No. Double delete. Muramasa and Prism are the skeleton key to some really rude fights in Battle Arc 3. We have one fight we're up ahead where we're gonna need a skeleton key, and that's still the same here.
I mean, if you walk into the super boss, you gotta have a plan.
Hey, bud. Oh, that was... I put those chips in the opposite direction. That's fine. Let's me actually spend the... Okay, come on. Damn it. I was trying to race that and it didn't work. Let's just roll and leave. One thing I also have, I showed this off in, as we were doing, Dragon Warrior. Just my... We have a rewind key. In case of extreme problems, we have a rewind key.
So I'm a little bit conflicted about my enjoyment of the Paper Mario series, and I think that's okay. Like, that's a positive thing. That means that I'm thinking very hard about its flaws, but also not downplaying its strengths. And I think a lot of that is that you see it in Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario a whole lot, but the series has had a weird problem with all of the jokes being the punchline is "we wasted your time, lol them out."
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
I've just never been big on that.
What?
What are you doing?
What was that?
D12, 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 D12. Look, is that... Dude, is that dice weighted? No. No.
Hit the damn statue.
I keep rolling 12s.
God. It's the blue demon. Okay.
But yeah, like, I still love Thousand Year Door for what it's worth. There's so much to love about it, but also just, like, you did General White on purpose, and it's not just General White. Like, God, no, it's not just General White. It is, throughout the game, you are constantly having to backtrack a whole lot, or the jokes are just like, haha, isn't it great that we made you, like, fuck off for, like, 50 seconds or whatever?
There's a number of, like, areas that on, like, repetitive going back into feel a lot worse. The Glitz Pit is one of the best presented areas, and is one of the worst to try to, like, go back into. Just because, like, the Glitz Pit is, like, such a, like repetitive, very same, like, okay, we're just going back into, fights, or like Twilight Town, where,
yeah, like Twilight Town was I enjoyed the story components of it, but like it has some really like you are literally going to the ends of the earth and back multiple times. But I think most of it is because, like, the sound was really good, and also just, you know, Vivian's great.
My chip!
Better get that back.
Get back here. Get back here.
I only have 98 more of those.
Oh my god. Womp.
I think that's kind of the big takeaway with this sort of thing, where it's just like, people do remember the most egregious versions of a problem in a game, and they don't realize, no, that was everywhere in the game, actually.
Yeah, I also agree. I don't remember how much that was actually a thing in 60 in the first one. Like,
that's why I said that. Like, I specifically remember it a lot in Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario.
Right. I'm just thinking about, like, you know, how much of a thing was that in. Oh boy. Oh god, the big bomb. Okay, that's not a big bomb-y. It's just a middle bomb. So if I need to dodge it, I can dodge reasonably. Toad, save me. Water in there?
Like, people are only really going to remember one egregious thing, but they will generally only remember the good parts of a game that they enjoy. And, like, that's fine. Like, that's just how the human brain works. We don't think about... It's like, when we look back fondly on stuff, we remember fond things in order to reinforce the fact that we are thinking back fondly on them.
I was backtracking doing the game, we're going back for the Waka Bump or whatever. Alright, so...
I always did pacifist run on the Waka Bump.
So, one thing... Oh, whoops, that was one too many shots. I was gonna say, this is like a game design bit that, like, you have as a sort of issue, completely separate from the conversation you're talking about, or just specifically talking about what we have here. One of the things that's like a hard choice to deal with is the choice of how much, like, how much you're going to have to sit in a fight and, like, heal to full. Right? Like, in that last fight, we basically had it solved. I was just going to go and try to find my 200 heal until I beat the, you know, the enemy there.
Uh-huh.
And, like, that's a choice that is, like, really awkward to work with because, like, it means you have to, like, slow down and stop doing the game in a normal way. This is something that comes up a lot in Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire doesn't have, but for the most part, has tried to remove a lot of the ways that you can, like, that's it, that's the only enemy.
I mean, we know what this one's capable of, so that's fair.
Yeah. Slay the Spire has tried to remove all of the, like, you know, you have to sit around and, like, full heal to mechanics. Oh. But what if? Okay. We got there. And so, but this game, because we no longer full heal out of battle, or we're in a gauntlet here, we have to consider how much, like, effort I'm putting into, like, trying to full heal myself in a fight. You know, I'm going ahead and trying to roll so that I can heal myself because I need to keep that resource going. And it on the one hand, it makes the effects like roll stronger, but on the other hand, it makes, like, specifically, thank you for the fire sword.
How much time are you willing to pay for that? And doing it constantly,
I completely whiffed on that one. Oh! I'm just gonna move up there, thanks. I didn't realize that didn't have any iframes. That's incredible.
No iframes whatsoever, just fucking take it.
Just die.
Games that let me full heal in a fight but not outside of fights will make me full healed in the fight no matter how tedious it is. Yeah, because the resource is there.
And so I think, like, I like it here in the way that, like, because I have a bunch of full heals and they're not, like, super expensive, I'm not super worried about having to heal outside of fight, or in a fight too often. Roll and full cost and everything.
There are a bunch of games that let you full heal after every fight.
13.
Yeah, I was gonna say 13 for all its flaws did do that.
But that also, but again, that actually leads to a different, like, okay, I don't, when I say that it's like a thing, like a flaw, I don't mean that it's an incorrect choice. I mean that it's something you have to think about, in the sense that, like, you can't design your game either direction without considering what the consequences of the action will be. You know, if you need to heal in fights, you're going to incentivize your players to take slow, methodical actions to continuously heal that might destroy the pacing of what you're trying to make. On the other hand, if you're making, if your plan is that you need to, I put that in the wrong direction, I just whiffed on it. Okay. That's fine. Million rolls. But yeah, you have to consider, like, what full healing after every fight does. Now all of a sudden, there is no resource cost. I can just spam my most powerful moves at all times and go to 1 HP without any consequence.
That's a different sort of pacing situation that you have to build around.
Right, so it's not incorrect, it's rather, again, it's just, you need to know this is something you're working with.
Muramasa does your HP missing.
Yeah, HP, damage equal to missing HP.
It is something that we definitely would want in the back part of this gauntlet, just because we would have run out of resources by this point, and then it's just all or nothing.
Well, even right now, it's still a 100. This 1B tank. So, like, there's a balance to be had on it. And again, like, You know, Slay the Spire is a game I think about a lot. No, because, you know, I stream it weekly. And with Slay the Spire, there's this very heavily considered, like, resource back and forth struggle about your HP. And there's not a... In the main game, you don't have... you generally can't full heal in a fight for free. You're gonna need some other effect to be able to give you that ability.
HP is a resource that you're constantly thinking about.
Yeah, because like you might have did Chrono Cross have a balance system between healing in a battle, out of battle? Something.
Yeah.
Yes. So
it had you had your skills were consumables that refreshed after every fight, but any healing abilities that you did not use could immediately be banked after the fight to heal.
Yeah, you can just say, please use all of my heals, please.
You could also specify use like
non-consumable,
make up the difference with actual items if you wanted to.
Roll, you gotta help. Roll. Yeah. Items were consumable. Like there were consumable items, and then there were non-consumable. Like this thing's gonna be the death of me. There were non-consumable spells that acted as like you could use them after a battle if you still had them.
Yeah, so let's say you didn't use your cure spell during the fight. You just get to say, I would like to use my cure spell now, please, and just heal to full.
Yeah.
Because I didn't use it during the fight.
Yep. But then you can say, okay, I'm going to use Tablet from, like, Tablet 30 to, like, heal off of it.
Chrono Cross, you can decide to do that.
Chrono Cross recently had a re-release, so I'm, like, it's been on my mind, and such recently because of that. The re-release is like not a whole lot as far as like what it does upgrading wise, but it does.
It puts the game on PC.
Yeah. Also, not terribly expensive. It was a $20 release. So like,
there were a couple of features that people would just assume were like created whole cloth for the release because that's just like where we are on game design these days for that sort of stuff. But no, Chrono Cross had these things from the beginning. Specifically, I'm talking about the fast forward button.
Yeah,
Chrono Cross had that, but it was only as a New Game Plus feature. They just let you have that from the jump.
Yeah.
In the remaster.
There were a lot of other problems that came up with Chrono Cross as a title. Indeed. I'm
My big takeaway from Chrono Cross has always been, like, it would have been a much better received game, and probably better overall if it was not a game associated with Chrono Trigger.
As somebody who didn't play Chrono Trigger before Chrono Cross, I agree, because I thought it was a pretty cool game because of that. That'll re-release gonna be live. Yeah. Speaking of which, that's our me and Luke's next stream title. So if you want to catch that,
I've heard the remaster is like leaps and bounds better than the original, which is wild because the original was always really good.
So if you want to catch that stream, that's on Thursdays, starting not next week, but the week after. Oh, I just have the program advance in my pocket. Thanks. So yeah, that'll be on Thursdays. We're not starting, we're taking a week break, but that'll be, so like, oh, this is the pull-in one. Oh, you're dead. It's gonna be cool, because neither of us have ever played it. Like, I don't know anything about the game other than, you know, the remake exists. And that, like, the original is a pretty, like...
well-beloved entry. It is another game that is ahead of its time on a lot of things.
Alright, roll. Help me out. Crunched. Now, where are we? What fight is... Oh, God. 19? Wow, we've actually been going pretty quick here.
Yeah. I would just say live alive. I squared the circle on that one.
Like, we were talking about this on stream on Thursday. I've heard live alive, live alive, live alive, live alive. I don't know. I literally don't know because I've heard so many people refer to it in so many different ways.
I was going entirely off of mouthfeel.
Yeah, like... I've heard it, I remember it on the Direct as Live Alive. So that's what I believe it is, but... That is a word with multiple ways to... Yeah.
Just say it how it is, like... If it's easier for you to say it one way, then say it that way.
Alright, I'm at full health, so this isn't gonna do anything, but I still have all my roll chips. Thanks, roll. Live evil? Yeah, that's it. Evality live. Oh, shit. We're probably fine.
The other thing I probably changed about Chrono Cross is making it so you can have more than 3 characters in the party, especially when you have Surge constantly being forced to be in the party. Either don't have 40 characters or have more than 3 characters.
40 goddamn characters. I missed. I missed. Oh, I missed. You know, if I'm standing over here, they can't hit me. Because they only can move 3 search. 3 forward.
I think the other thing is that, like, I'm always willing to talk shit about FF9 steal mechanic, just because you're supposed to, like, the thieves are supposed to be front and center. Zidane is a thief, and he's the main character. Why is he so bad at being a thief? Anyway, Chrono Cross probably has a much worse stealing mechanic on its face, just because stealing is relegated to only 3 characters in the whole game, and it is a one-time use per battle.
Yeah, Pilfer. Pilfer is so bad.
What if you could only steal once, but the mechanics and drop rates and formulae were exactly the same as if you were expected to mash steal multiple times until you got a rare drop?
I think the biggest problem with steal in 9 is, honestly, it's not super different from stealing in most other Final Fantasies. There's obviously some dumb numbers problems with rates on things. The biggest problem that comes up with stealing in FF9 is that your lead has steal. So, like, you interact with the system so much more, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Like,
also, the fact that you, there are so many items that are really, really good for you to steal. Like, most bosses will have a rare drop that puts you miles ahead.
And that's important if your main character is a thief, right? Like, you want to incentivize that choice. But...
the great couldn't steal fiasco 2019 or whatever.
I've defeated this Met.
They just don't know what to do. They're just vibing.
Yep, this Met rules. I'm so happy for this Met.
I think the other fucked up thing too is that so an early fight in FF9, the one where you have to have Zidane solo 2 bosses because that's cool, has a rare drop called the Mithril Dagger, and it has a skill on it that removes one of the 9 zillion internal checks that the steel formula has to have in order to, like, get you from A to B. So, basically what it does is it removes the check on your stats and just gets straight to the is it a rare item or common item drop thing. Your steals will be successful, except they won't be successful because no one cares about the common drop. You're going for the rare.
Yeah. FFTA definitely is a game that has, like, cool stealing.
And of course, people are going to bring up Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass because that's just not fair. Why wouldn't you? Like, Jimmy's steal mechanic was so good, it's unreal. Jimmy's steal mechanic was actually utilized as, like, contextual design in boss fights. I've never seen a steal mechanic utilized in that way, and considering that Zidane is a thief and thieves are supposed to be the front and center of FF9, it's so fucked up that you don't have Zidane actually interact with bosses in the same way that Jimmy's Grift did, despite the fact that one puts a big focus on stealing because your main character's a thief, while the other's just like, thieving's a thing. It's also just really powerful and is one of the principal ways you can interact with boss fights, and actually is required to interact with certain boss fights. And I didn't even mention the part where it just tells you what the rates are, and you can manipulate the rates in different ways depending on the fight.
Shit. Oh, I fucked up.
And it's also used for jokes, and the jokes are really good.
I need to kill that 15 health rat or I'm gonna die.
Super Deathbot 2000 doesn't need a voice to kill you is still one of the best bits I have ever seen.
No. How do I kill this rat? How do I kill this rat? Oh my god, I'm gonna die to this rat.
It's a rat, it makes all the rules, dude.
I'm gonna die to this rat. I'm gonna die to this rat. Okay. I was trying to kill it and I left it at 15 when I tried to Buster Duel it down.
I lived.
What's next? UFO, we're in 27 now.
Medibot, FF10 specifically had the steal mechanic, or, like, I really enjoyed FF10's steal mechanic, of course, until Jimmy stole the spotlight, but, FF10's was just no formulas, no bullshit, just a 100% flat steal rate that got cut in half with every successful steal.
Okay, there's my 200M. And then I need roll 60 followed by roll 100. Okay. Oh, rats. Rats off to you.
Bad rats.
Alright, so 28. We only have 3 more, and I've only died 2 times that I've had 2 asterisk times.
I'm just a firm believer that the steel mechanic does not need a weird formula in the back unless it is abundantly clear exactly how that formula is applied.
I'm fine with it being arcane as long as it has some sort of like scalability, like in a sense where it's not going to be like literally a 1 in 256 20 like forever. Like if there are actions you could take to fix that, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Come on, come on. Punisher. It's such a blast. I'm rewatching the anime for the millionth time.
That's right, folks. Sly on Vpris Mega Man Battle Network streams. So good, I watched the anime again. Hey, thanks for that, by the way. I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
So the anime, I watched, I want to say 2 seasons, and then like bits on and off. No, it might have been 1.5. But I haven't seen it myself in such a long time. That would be a very fun thing. Obviously not on stream, but just a fun thing to encounter.
I watched 0 seasons.
Fair. Again, Battle Network is a series near and dear to my heart. I played the shit out of this. I watched, watched the anime. Really, just everything about it. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Fuck. Oh no,
we're here.
Alright. It's fine, that's fine. If I have a life sword just at the ready.
The motion of land slamming chips into his PET like it was loading a clip.
Damn it. Okay, what's Yellow Dregs? Fire. Oh. Okay, following, stunning. Alright, let's use roll and get some damage in. Battle anime before I knew that Mega Man was a video game. Yeah? Multimedia. It's an important way to make sure that other,
9 million megabytes on one disc. That's just one disc.
Alright, let's go Shadow. Now. Cool.
I'm sorry, when I think about multimedia...
multimedia.
It's extremely 90s, dude.
I know. But I just mean as like you having a franchise that is, like you have an anime and it's the reason. Oh shit, that was it. Oh my god, we did it.
Oh, we did it.
All right. Smoking stylish. And a reg up one. They hand those out because that's the only thing they can hand out by the end of the game. We're at 41. Grew up with a Latin American Spanish dub and said they never dubbed that beyond gospel. Oh, damn.
I sometimes still think about the thing where I want to say it was either the Brazilian government or another South American government, had a big made a big event of the final episode of Dragon Ball Super, final episode of the tournament arc where Goku fights Jiren.
I thought that was a specific a Mexico thing. It was in Mexico.
Yeah, it might have been a Mexico thing. Yes. Okay, it was Mexico. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
and Toei was like, "No, you can't do that," and then Mexico told them to go pound sand.
Where's our new character? Hold on. Oh, here. Okay. Is this little girl? What's his name? can see the hosts. Of the level 3 navies you defeated at Busted Level S. Has ever been a story enhanced by level 3 instead of different adaptations? That's a good question. Something I have to think of. The hosts. So, as I mentioned, there's a like a perfect style. It's called hub style. That you can get. In order to get it, the requirement is you need a level 3. You need to S-bust every level 3 Navi. So this character here is here to tell us, Shadow Man, that is all. Like, this is our way of knowing which ones we've done and which ones we haven't. She can see the hosts. That's right. Okay, with that...
Okay, it was specifically Toei whined to the Japanese government who wrote to the Mexican government, and Mexico was just like, we checked the laws in Mexico, and,
Thanks.
we have decided that you can chew on it, and, you can chew on it as long as you like.
Okay, so we just want to go to the World 3 area. Actually, do I have sneak runs left? I do.
Taqueria Goku is significant to culture, and that's great.
Very important. Huts man. Okay, so now that we have the Triple S license, it's time for us to go finish up the World 3 area. This is going to give us some neat chips that'll actually be useful immediately, as well as a couple last bosses. So I'm excited for that. So
wait, they update the art every time Goku gets a new form? Word.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, updated for, you know, Super Saiyan Blue.
Oh, I need to see the Ultra Instinct Taqueria Goku.
I'll have to find you the art on that. I remember seeing that.
There's so much beauty in the world if you just know where to look.
There you go. Oh, I barely got that in the time. I put on the oven mitten, blocked Nightbot.
There's something serene about Ultra Instinct Taqueria Goku.
Alright, so here we are back in, again, World 3 area. You can't leave. You can't jack out. Also, I need to make a change to my folder for this bit. Only a small change, but this is an important addition. Also, the Recover can come out now. We're going to put in Holy Panel. And we're going to go ahead and put in our attack plus 30. And you might think, what the hell's the point of an attack plus 30 when our attacks do 600? You'll see. There is indeed a point. It sucks, but you'll understand it the moment you see. All right, let me pull up my map of.
I think my favorite part of the Taqueria Goku timeline is that I noticed the detail where they deliberately skipped Super Saiyan 4.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of scouting through World 3 area. first things first, we just have some cubes to get. Here's a cube. This one's a triple S license cube. And here...
the red one is not supposed to be Super Saiyan 4 because, like, it doesn't have the tail. It's Super Saiyan God.
Lava Stage V. Lava Stage is actually a really cool chip for fire styles. Because fire
Does it just turn the whole thing into fire panels?
Yeah, it turns everything into a fire panel, and as a fire style, you're invincible. You're not invincible. You don't take damage to them, and enemies can take wild damage to you know, to it. So,
okay, it's Sunny Day.
So Guardians with 630 health, you've solved the riddle. Indeed.
Stupid. Complimentary. I know, I do really appreciate that moment in the dub where they do riff on Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan being a stupid name. Where Frieza is just, where Goku is going over his new form to Frieza, and Frieza's just like, so you're telling me that you're Super Saiyan God, except you're not the Super Saiyan God, but instead you're the Super Saiyan version of that. You really need to work on your pronunciations, Goku. I nearly bit my tongue trying to spit it all out.
One of the things about this area is that I like to save after literally every fight, because of how dangerous every fight can be. Even random fights can be enough to, you know, we might run into Veraman V3. Alright, here's part 2. There's actually not any real things we need to grab here in part 2. We just need to get through the area, so that's fine. This is not an area you end up in unless you're farming some specific viruses, in which case... especially because this is what's in here.
Yep.
Fucking
Time for some bad rats.
No! Oh, you didn't! I'm still in Viz. Alright, do I have a... Okay, we're gonna set up a holy panel here. Damn it, I can't get the one with angry eyebrows.
One of my favorite original bits of DBZ that carried over into the early parts of Super is that, like, nobody respects Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan 3 was a dumb form from the jump, and they kind of knew that, and... I mean, like...
Hey now. Hey now.
Look.
Hey now.
Look.
Hey now.
Look.
Like...
Present your evidence.
I'm not gonna, like... go to bat on 3 as much, but the scene of introducing 3,
that was metal as hell.
Top
yes,
5.
Yes. Top 5, easily. Yeah. They went all in on it. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Like that's, you know, so just want to put that one out there, you know, and
yeah.
The form
like,
itself.
This is what it means to go further beyond.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone
iconic.
knows. Yeah.
We know that. Yeah, like.
But the rest of it. Yeah.
It is mostly Goku spending the entire rest of that saga and also the early parts of Super trying to justify Super Saiyan 3 and make it not suck. Because, like, the whole point is that it is the most gigantic energy drain in all of creation. And it is just not worth the power boost that it gives. And he only came up with it because he was dead and did not have to worry about energy.
Let me take something out for a moment.
He had to blow a wish on his Senzu bean just to make it work.
prism. So, we're back in a new area. This is World 3, Area 3. And because we're in a new area, we're going to be encountering some of those. You have to delete them in one move, and also it's code Q, right? Yeah, Q. Okay. You have to delete them all in one blow, and so Prism is one of the like get out of jail free cards for this sort of thing.
Because Meaman, like any like sufficiently hard hitting thing on the Prism will just like
fly out and
yeah, just explode. Yeah, he does prank Caulifla by showing off Super Saiyan 3 and then immediately being like, but no, this form's dog shit. You never want to use that.
Okay, so we got the painter painting holy panels again. But the painter painting holy panels doesn't really matter because Life Sword 3 does 600 goddamn damage.
Doesn't matter unless you fucking dodge it.
Unless you dodge, I mean that's a good one too. Jerk. I'll show you. Get back here. I got another one of these. Your name on it.
Got him.
No shit. Oh well. Ships aren't a problem right now if we need specific ones. Anyway, whoop. Uh-oh. You son of a bitch.
So we're going fishing for area grabs?
Yeah, but I can't stand on that. That's air.
You can't grab an air?
No, like, well, I can't
make it.
Well, I can't stand on that.
Okay.
Like, how am I supposed to soar?
That's what I was saying. Like, you can't grab the air and make it ground.
No.
Frick!
So you need to use the Big Bomb Program Advance here for this one. Luckily, I don't care. There's a grass stage chip behind this, which we already have. I don't give a shit. Later. Later, jerk. I ain't dealing with your puzzle. Screw you. Okay, so this is the cube that's actually blocking progress. Oh, actually, no, sorry. That's the, behind that one, the one that we just were looking at. That's where, Can I use Holy Panel to make that area? I think Holy Panel... Oh, this other cube here is literally a green data. That's the only thing behind it. Let's grab the green data, though. Aqua... Okay, never mind. Good call. Free Aqua Aura. I forgot that green data's, like, good in this area. But yeah, that area is actually where Planet Man... Planet Man. Our next opponent will be showing up. The V2s.
I can never remember how that song goes about, like, Planet Man and Triangle Man. I hate Phantom Spaceman.
Alright. Hope you're healing on that. I ain't gonna let that happen for
You remember, like, Hank and Dee thought, like, they were responding to them thinking that Brock was dead. He got shot out of an airlock in space, and then all Hank can say is, I hate Phantom Spaceman.
Alright. Oh, I'll grab that blue on the exit. We have to walk out of here, remember. Okay, so... here we are. And here's one of the ones that we're going to need that is going to require a... because of this setup, we need a prism. Nothing to be done about it. We can get this, though. A prism will work. So I'm adding chips to get us to 10. Okay, here's our program advance. We do have it. So now we just want to burn chips as fast as we can to get to this. Also, gotta deal with the fact that we're taking 300 damage on an explosion. So I'm just gonna use some rolls. We need to burn off all of these. We definitely want Holy Panel. Holy Panel buys us a lot of time here to find the right setup. Because instead of taking 300, we're taking 150.
Yeah, Venture Brothers, especially the earlier seasons, may have a couple bits that ain't so great these days, but, like, damn, it has a lot of good jokes still. It's like a lot of it has been the delivery as well, just like Rusty watching a bunch of villains about to throw down over some stupid shit, and he's like, this is going to be another one of those things, isn't it?
Gotta find Prism. There it is. Prism and full cost. And then fire, water, and leg. It was the second to last chip in the deck. Here we go. Swamp. Beep. We'll use the mini energies instead here. Okay, and then this is a little long path. Another green data. 8,000 bucks, sure. Alright, then we got an area that's just stuck in my brain. There's an area like this in Battle Network 3 as well. This giant staircase at open
Sonic
plane.
3D blast ass ramp.
Yep.
I don't know how it hasn't come up, but you know, like, I figured it was inevitable given that we're going through 6 of these games. Me talking about Sonic 3D Blast. Yeah, get got, dummy.
I just died from full there.
That's the magic of set play.
That was incredible. Holy shit. Again, no invincibility on a lot of these.
Somebody's getting fucked. Who's getting fucked? Who? Somebody's getting fucked.
That was a wombo combo indeed. The whole area is painted. This sucks.
There are those moments where Ty will occasionally talk about Batista set play like I would know what he's talking about, and then I can just have images like these in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, I see.
Oh god, alright. Anyway. We're good. We're good.
I think this is what it's like.
Let's eat a potion. There's a reason I save every goddamn fight. Anyway. A Bufra!
Yay!
Alright. Here we go. So, this is the end of the World 3 area. We've got 3 bits here. Shoot. Submem. This is literally the last bit in the game that gives us a legitimate upgrade to 8th submem. So now we can hold 8 bits here.
Would kick ass if we had a shop.
Yeah. Alright, and then here... Oh, look, a data.
Finally, something we can use.
Here we are. The Protecto 3s. So, you'll note, I have it. Fireblade, Aqua Blade, Elect Blade for 600. So let's fix it
go
up.
Fish for attack plus 30.
That's why I put it in the list. Okay, cool. We'll have to have it in Viz. And there it is. So there's Life Sword 3 plus 30 down the bottom. You do get a reasonable amount of money for killing these. I really like that one because it's literally... The question it's asking there is literally Life Sword 3 plus 30. That's the only answer I'm aware of to that question. Like,
oh, yeah, there's one other answer, but we've taken care of that for balance purposes.
That doesn't work because it's not in one shot. It's in 9 shots.
Oh.
Also, even Gator at max damage, Gator's single target. So Gator would do, even at max damage, Gator would do plus 30 for 160 on each hit. And that's not enough to beat 1,860 health. It's like 1,440 health or something like that. So, even Gator
is
can't.
Horseshit.
Balloons? Oh, yeah, true. A balloon has a no upper limit, right? Anyway. You have passed 3 trials. I honor you. This gate is asking you if you have 200 chip completion on your save file. Or 200 chips out of the 250. Well, can you get the balloon up to 99 before the explosion? Now, the final door shall open. And here we are. There's nothing here. Well, what was that all about? Yes. Here they are! It's Planet Man! I love this. Good old Planet Man. You are the chosen one.
I love that this thing is basically a personified Street Fighter character select screen.
Tyler. Yep. And
this will fly at this location.
For all our cool victories, we can join World 3. Which does still exist, apparently. By the way. The new HQ of the Restored World 3. Destroy the net and take control of the entire world. Ambition? Alright. The glory of World 3. Alright, battle routine set, execute, let's go. So, Planet Man's big. Just want to put that out there. Planet Man is big. Planet Man has 2 orbiting planets. Planet Man is stationary. Planet Man's arena here has a hole in the center for us, and has a hole on all the sides there. Luckily, is set up to be able to take big sword attacks. The prism in our deck is actually dead as shit. But so is the steel, but whatever, who cares? Those 2 orbs are elemental. I don't think they can match your elements. If I remember right. Like, so if you're fire element, there'll never be a fire orb in this fight.
Okay, so you can affect, like...
So there's never going to be a neutral orb. It's either going to be, like, one... Like, in here, thank God, there's no wood orb. So we actually have... There's nothing that's going to hit us for weakness immediately.
Yeah, I was just kind of wondering if aura chips manipulated that.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Alright, Shadow Man. This is our starting maneuvers. We probably want to add... I'm just going to add the... Alright, so we're going to learn how the attacks work here. There's the geyser. There's the fire. So there's also this little shuttle. Here it is.
Oh my god.
It's the cutest thing.
It's so tiny.
Roll, roll, roll. I don't need the full custom by the time all 3 rolls have landed, we'll have turn again. Because I have to wait for invulnerability. But here comes another.
Incidentally, I didn't realize that the planet was shaped like an egg.
Here comes another daredevil. I love the little shuttle, it's so cute. I was right. Oh, there comes another shuttle. Do you see it take off? Yeah, a little Vic Viper. Alright.
Yeah, when you slipped up and said Planet Man, I thought you were doing a bit. I didn't realize that it...
I've been trying to hide it, but I slipped up because I saw Planet Man on my... you know... Oh, shit! Oh,
lucky for you, you forgot about one thing. I'm really stupid.
Oh, fuck, we're at this point. Alright. So now we've got, like, a bunch of fucking... Actually, are you dead? Oh, no, it's a 1. Damn it, it's a 1. I thought that was 2. Anyway, he turned into a... Planet Man turned into a black hole and started pulling meteors in. But... Whoop. Planet Man's very cool. I love the neat, like, unique mechanics going on. It's not a lot. Like, it's literally just, you know, the orbiting and the little shuttle and, like, the desperation meteors. But, like, Planet Man's design is really fun.
Yes. I literally thought it was going to be base again.
Even if you've defeated me somewhere, sometime, somehow, the World 3 will rise again. Man.
Man. Well. We'll
put him down in the grave.
Knocked off the stadium.
Rumble, rumble. Man, I'm hungry. Some things never change. Ready to jack out? Wait. You can't? Yeah. So we can't leave. We have to walk out of here. Alright, we need to heal because that hurt.
Oh, okay. So now base is gonna jump us once we get back to the... Okay. Understood.
There's a reason I can't leave. Because we're not done. But yeah, so let me go ahead and pull up, we're gonna move down chips here.
So, Lan, I have a question. You can just make a sandwich with your PET. You don't have to, like, wait for Mega Man to get out or anything. You can just make it while he's in there.
So here's Fairman. Fairman is wild. Laser shooting coffin, etc. Napalm
super shot, shooting super sharp shots.
Just when I say wild, like you take a look at damage on like, you know, a lot of the V3s, like 180, 160, 150 on the double tackle. I think that's just like you get some hefty ones, but those are like single target generally. But like these down here are just like
300 AoE, fuck you.
Yeah. And then, of course, Planet Man. Planet smashes one enemy 90.
That's like 50 million hits, right?
You can see the little background, there's the Vic Viper, and you can see the different colors of the planet. So, but yeah, so Planet Man, really cool. Let's get out of here.
It's literally Hasotobi from Persona, just like, oh, all of these attacks are weak. Why would it be? Oh, they're, wow, they all crit too. There's so many. Oh, oh,
oh, oh, Mole 2.
Yo, you need to get in our pockets.
Thing you'll notice about Mole 2 is that it's similar to Mole. In like, you know, we have to hit it when it pops up, but we have an HP bar this time. So we need to like deal with Mole in like, you know, high damage ways.
The good news is that you can keep up the pressure.
Yeah. Also, invulnerable to stunning. We can do this. Mole looks a lot like Rush, indeed. Was a early Rush prototype, like or not prototype, I suppose, but like.
It was a prototype design because Rush was originally going to be stylized for Mega Man Legends.
Yep. If you take a look at some of the... Anyway.
Got him.
Far Sword End. God, that's a drop and a half. Mole's Whip, by the way. So the reason I know this area, by the way, is because I spent a lot of time fighting enemies right here. I'm sorry. Thanks.
So, how dead is base on a scale to yes?
Well, that extremely upgrades our deck in the sense that we now have a 4th full cust, which means we have a 4th time lock in our deck. However, base is gonna be a fucking fight. Like, it's gonna be a fight. We'll get there. I can't even hide the fact that we're just gonna have to fucking fight base here. Alright, like it's just what it is.
I mean, the fact that they telegraphed it is the thing.
Yeah. Like, again, the ending had literally drum and bass.
Start your computations for time loop.
Yeah. Okay, so at that spot right there, that's where Planet Man V2 shows up. That's behind the one we need Big Bomb for. That's like right here. So. Fuck me. Okay. Sword plus 30. Break bad.
Has a lot of repurposed Legends designs. I mean, like, the wires crossed a lot, and plus, they had, I believe they had pretty close development times.
Yeah, I think so. 150. I'm gonna have to use a life sword just to break that. Scuttler and Scuttlist. Anyway, this is just beams.
I mean, remember, this is all Capcom. Like, different departments can talk to each other.
Alright, so we have a life sword. The point of the life sword is literally just to break the goddamn barrier. That is a life aura. And this is the enemy that drops life aura chips, yes. These are, again, we're in the World 3 Remnants area. This is where bits of the life virus got out. Nice. Like my health.
Nice.
Okay. Luckily, leaving Area 2 is super easy. Just do this. Okay, I need to fully heal.
I mean, this was a bit in Legends 2, now that I think about it.
Alright.
The second dungeon where, like, you go all the way to the bottom, you fight Claymore, and then you go all the way back to the top and fight Claymore again.
Yeah. I think we can sidestep the encounter if we really wanted to. Because there's 2 exits in this area. Shared staff who also worked on Breath of Fire. That's nifty. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, again. So, in the upper left corner of this area is the area we to get the army data, which puts us back in Den 1. We could technically just leave. I ain't doing that.
I mean, they also do that just because, like, this is a soft lock point otherwise, right?
No, well, yeah. It gives you an escape hatch if you couldn't win this fight, or if you couldn't heal. I sense a tremendous power. So in the first game, we don't mention the fact that you're fighting base. But this is our actual introduction to. What the heck? Alright, buddy. I can feel it through my PT. Yes, you are strong. Yes, indeed. Yeah, this base is absolutely power seeking. Yep, it is not Bass the fish. I like to refer to the fake base as Bass, because I think that's funny. But
hey, if it worked for Mega Man 8.
But this is base. Alright. So, base has a 100 life aura, 2,000 goddamn health, final boss levels, same as Gospel. Yeah, so this is much more dangerous, as we're gonna see. I'm gonna have to land a lot of my good hits here. Luckily, we can take out the initial aura here with Toad. And do I have a... No, I do not. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add these two to get us to 9 ships. We're gonna have to do a lot of dodging on it. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Does he drop the aura? No, he doesn't drop the aura on... That does he drop the aura on the breaker, I wonder. I sure hope so.
I mean, I assumed he would be able to refresh his aura, like,
I didn't think it was gonna be that fast. In later versions of this fight, Base has a moment where the shields are dropped. And we're gonna, I hope we still have it. He'll be where he goes for a crusher. We might have to retool some of our secondary things to give us ways to break that aura easier.
I don't think he's taking the bait.
No. I'm gonna wait on it though. We got time. Give me the crusher. You might want to switch over to Gut Style because Gut Style charge does, I think, 100 damage. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna just go for it then. Fire, water, thunder. Fucking hell! Alright, jerk. Here we go. If I can hit him with Muramasa, the fight's over. That attack isn't invisible. It's very hard to see. Going up and down, snaking across the layers. We're just gonna pull out a Life Sword one and see if we can use that. That's it! That was the moment.
One stroke, certain death.
Muramos is a sword in this. Yeah, so that's the attack that gives you the only time the aura's dropped. Victory!
Nice.
Go to 10. Final hit point. Guts.
Goodness.
Holy shit. That only worked, by the way, because the holy panel kept us from taking 400 damage from that hit or whatever. Some bullshit. Or like, some hundreds. Alright. Having outside the cyber world could wound me. Next team, I may even try really fighting you. Of course, that was him in his, like, 10% power form, Taguro or whatever.
Wandering cyber world, fighting strong.
At least that means we're the strong. I mean, let's be real. We also are, like, coughing up a lung. This isn't like, yeah, we kicked his ass, he'll never fight us, you know, like, this is a fight where we knock out, drag out, like, you know, like, both do the slash, and we're the only one standing. Congratulations, you are an ultimate net battler.
You should get that on a t-shirt.
We get some so we actually, there's like more stuff in this game. Here we're getting our busting times. We're getting, like, effectively we're getting a second ending now after we beat base. Quick Man, yeah, he kicked your ass. 8 Man, he also kicked your ass. Cut Man,
Really? That guy?
Shadow Man we did pretty good against. Thunder Man, yeah. Proto Man. This is the fight in the castle before Nightman. Nightman we did quite well against.
I still love Nightman's design.
Nightman's very cool. Look how big Magna Man is. Just huge. Heat Man. Yep, Freeze Man. That fight took a minute 12, but was free. That was the free fight, because we had the stun, and we could just stun block forever. Pharaoh Man. This is where we were on real power, so 33 seconds. Napalm Man was kind of an ass kicker. Yeah, it's something we'll get to see as we get to go into other games, but this game, the series doesn't just create and throw away characters. We haven't seen a lot of... We saw Mr. Match, for instance, in this game. But we may... Who knows what characters could exist? These are V1 times. Real base. 2 minutes. Holy shit. And here's our results screen. 1 retreat, average busting level 7, average delete time 13:51.
Here's your Kingdom Hearts battle report.
We have 617 fights, which, as mentioned, we need 280 for a style change. So 280 for the first one, 360 or 560 for the second. You know, like, but the first one's not actually 280; it's prescribed at a certain point. But anyway, it's like 200 plus.
I mean, unfortunately, you didn't get all of the Gemini's journal entries, so you're not going to get the secret FMV
That's
ending
true.
that contextualizes the next game on the PSP.
Alright. And we also get the mystery area. So,
Okay.
yeah, base leaves behind a unique, look at it, it's literally a unique, like, asset for it. Base's chip is another one of those, much like Gate Man, also F code, is another one of those chips that, like, any attack plus on it makes it 1 million damage, because this is the multi-hit nonsense. So it has random hits, which is one of its problems. It's that charge attack that he was doing, where he'd hit all 3 lines. Alright. So,
That's pretty much it for Battle Network 2.
not quite. We have one last bit we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little bit of show off. Then I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put in a code to have all PAs unlocked, and then I want to show off one last bit that changes on the. Just like if we go here, if I go ahead and reset. We have a 4th star now.
Okay.
The green one's for beating up base. And if I... 1 second here. We have to... We're gonna quick make one more run here, because we need to go back into... We need to go back into World 3, Area 3. Yeah, the stars in this game are beat the story, beat base, all chips, all secret chips, all program advances, except for the, like, gnarly program advance. But yeah, I do want to do one last bit in the World 3 area. There's a program advance called Darkness that we're not gonna, that isn't in the PA list for expected PAs.
Is what is just that dumb?
Let me pull up the PA list. It's, base V3, anti-Navi, and then a gospel chip, which, I don't even think those show up in the library. Those are from a event that never happened, sort of thing? Like a show up to a GameStop sort of level.
Yeah, okay,
nonsense.
the Mew promotional event, that sort of stuff.
I'm pretty sure that was the only way you got you could get the gospel chips.
That's rough.
So it's base 3, or so base 3, anti-nav, X, and then the gospel chip, and that's the last program advance. That one doesn't count. Yeah, there was an in-person event. Yeah, like I said, like a specific GameStop event or something. Alright, gonna try to make this... This will be pretty quick to get to Area 3, and then I'm gonna use Rewind very, heavily. Virtual console versions of the game in the Wii U gave you all the event chips if you clicked on, network option. Ooh! I wonder what the remakes will do about that, then.
They could probably just backport them, then.
Yeah.
Can't actually get the gospel chip legally. God, I'm thinking about that Weird Al Yankovic tweet I saw yesterday.
Yeah. Sucks. These are like the worst things I want to ever encounter on the internet.
Capcom's working on it, but as far as I can tell, there's VPN very probably no way to legally get the gospel chip. I'm sure you have a torrent of other questions, but I gotta be going now. See ya.
So, yeah. Alright, so here we are. Back in World 3 Area 3. A little low on full heals, but that should be okay. We only need one fight in here, and then we're leaving. So I'm gonna try and, like, abuse... Here we go, easy. Damn, first fight. Oh, so...
Base Deluxe.
You have to be able to refight base for the V2s and V3s. Here's Base Deluxe. Check out that cool 150. Base Deluxe will only show up if you're at 247 out of 250 chips. And that's the missing 3 are Base V2, Base V3, and I think Life Aura 3 is a base drop. Yeah. So
You're dead, basically.
We're dead as shit in this fight. You'll notice faster movement. Damage is higher. I don't know if there's any... That shot right there was 200 damage. In the previous fight, I think those were, like, not even 100. I think they were lower. So, yeah. We're not winning a fight here with base. That wasn't the plan. I just want to show off that base existed back here. Game over. If you want to beat base like this, you need to you basically need to build a folder specifically for this. The big thing is that 150, the 150 aura means you can't buster down the aura. You could if it's a 100, you can't on a 150. So, you need to design your setup to be able to do, like, break it, and then hit him with a gator, and then break it and hit him with a gator. That's usually what you have. I think on a 100, I thought you could do 100 on Guts style, on a charge shot. Only on Guts. Was my specific thought there. Alright, one last bit we're going to do here, then, is show off some program advances that I haven't been able to show off, or I haven't, shown off.
While we have a wrap-up discussion.
Yeah, this is a good time for it. So yeah, because we're effectively at the end. We got like the beating base gives you the second credits, so you know. But yeah, I am a huge fan of specifically this game. It's a huge jump from what Battle Network 1 has to offer in a lot of different ways. But like it uses the ground that 1 tread like very well. In my mind.
1 crawled so that 2 could walk, yeah.
Yeah.
The big thing for me is that I've already pretty much said what Slayo just said, where like this game is such a huge step up from 1, and yet still there are a couple of things where they are still trying to figure out stuff. You see it mostly in the design space of like the star codes and how they're working out the memory system.
Yeah, there's still like, I guess balance is something that's definitely a real...
Volcus being 10, and then they were like, oh fuck, and then from then on, Volcus was actually reasonable amounts of memory.
Or just like harder to get. So there's a couple chips I think I might have to give myself.
I always did like the Web 1.0 backgrounds of the of Battle Network 1's net, but Battle Network 2's net is like so much better to play.
Yeah.
It retains the interconnectivity without like just looking the goddamn same.
Okay, the first thing I'm gonna put in, I'm gonna quick put in some sheets here, so don't mind me.
Stand back, we're about to morb.
I want... Yeah.
I think the other thing too is that, and I believe I've said this as well, the fact that Gospel is such a huge step up from the stuff that WWW was doing in the first game, where it's just Saturday morning cartoon clown shoe shit, that's really low stakes in the grand scheme of things, and then Gospel bumps it up a huge amount, and then suddenly, like, the final dungeon is just reality is breaking around you because the net radiation is just so strong it is tearing down the walls of reality, like Superboy Prime punching the multiverse.
Let's see if I can actually enable hub style. I don't know if this is gonna work. Well, actually, let me try. Okay, first things first. Let me see if this worked out. Library, PA. Okay, so I went ahead and put in a code that just gives us all PAs finished. And I'm going to talk about some of these, and then we're going to show off some of these. But I also want to, then we can end on a different bit here. We have our Zeta cannons. We have Zeta Ratons. You can do cannonball for 5-second cannonballs. You can do a spreader upgrade. This is a neat one. You can do a 5 cannon for 10 seconds of cannon. Same with the Ratons. And then you have, like, you know, arrows, Ultra Bomb, Strongest Bomb. Ultra Bomb here is the alternative to Life Sword as far as big damage goes. Like, because this, I think, is 400 at a 3x3 grid. Life Sword 1.
I mean, which is really good.
Yeah. Punch. I think I'm gonna show off Punch. Curse is funny. Time Bomb is I think 500. Heavy Stamp. Pharaoh's Stronger Poison. Here's Air. I'll shoot.
Yeah, I think I found that in a liquor store once. You had to, like, ask for it, and then they go in the back and bring out Pharaoh's Stronger Poison.
Stringer, yeah, that's. We got the By Heart, which is a like one with roll. That's a full heal. Body Erd, 2x hero, and then Darkness. This is again, it's base V3 plus Osmo chips. So let me quick get in some specific chips so that I can show off. I want to show off the Navi one specifically. Those are gonna be big. So
I think my favorite part of Pharaoh's Stronger Poison is that it does remind me that Lost Odyssey's one of the level 4 composite magics was just like Omega Poison. Which, don't get me wrong, Toxin's strong as shit. Toxin's unfairly strong. But you can also just have that on a ring.
Alright, so I need... I don't need life auras. I don't need... Oh, I need anti-damage.
There's a reason why you have Toxic on your Pokemon, and it's just like, oh fuck.
And then I need... Oh, I should also get, chips for... We have a lot of last bits to show, like last chips I want to show off before we end, is the big bit.
Yeah, honestly, speaking of Pokemon, I realize that I have several favorites in the series, despite never having played the games for myself, because, like, it's kind of par for the course in Pokemon. You look at the designs and you're like, damn, that looks neat. I think it's just mostly from a purely theoretical standpoint, but also Whimsicott is just a shitty little goblin and I love them. I do love the idea that their signature move is Trickster, which is you get you always act first as long as your move doesn't do damage.
You always get to mess with your opponent. Okay, I think I've got a good set of... oh, nope, I want to put in the Variac Sword and Cuss Sword. Hold on. It's actually... So, adding in individual chips is actually, like, now that I've learned how to do it, it's pretty easy. So... we just go over to folder... and sort by quantity. Alright, so... we've got a bunch of things we're going to show off. I'm going to go ahead and use folder 2 for this. We never got folder 3. I thought I've basically did everything in this game.
Not that we've needed it.
Okay, so we're going to make a couple folders to show off a lot of different program advances and a lot of different navis that we just haven't done. Because I feel like that's... it's important to at least show those off, especially like, you know, like Planet is one of the ones I want to show. So here's Cuss Sword. Is it Cuss Sword? Yeah, Cuss Sword is one.
More damage based on how high your bar is.
Yeah, we're not going to be using that one as... we have Var Sword, which we actually got a couple of these, like, you know, we just got them. We got one from a pop-up. We got one from a thing. And then the other one we need in here is Proto Man. And then let's go ahead and put in Pharaoh Man. Oh, I can't put in more navis. We'll show them off on the next one. Anubis. And the other one we need is Anubis. Because this one we can do without navies. So we get Anubis, we get Poison Mask, Poison Face. Let me go ahead and make sure I've got those in here. We are definitely going to be hollering about the Anubis.
I realize this is a bit sudden, but, like, do you mind if we cut this in about 15 minutes?
Sure, let me make sure that I've got the last things I want quick then.
Yeah, I kind of figured this was a good stopping point anyway, once you've shown off the PAs.
Yeah, that's this is the last thing I want to do in combat. So here we get these poison masks. We never use poison mask or poison face. They're kind of funny. Yeah, I think it is a trading sequence that we just didn't do. That's like chip trades.
Yeah, to my knowledge, Battle Network 3 is where they start trying to do version differences, because Pokemon did it.
Oh, I should run. Can't run. Ahem. But yeah, Battle Network 3, we're gonna be. I never got this. Sorry, this is
amazing.
This is just right here the whole time. Sure. Dollar bills.
Like, it's a decent chunk of change.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So, what do we got? We've got... Alright, we better get more chips. I don't know if we can get this yet.
Oh, this is a 5-chip PA?
No, I just drew both halves of the wrong ones. Poison Face.
So it goes.
Oh my god. Okay, so, Cuss Sword, Various Sword, Proto-Man 3. You see, it does 70, but, it's like a million hits. Let's find like a... Let's go find, like, Gutsman to beat up with these. That'd be a good one.
Nice.
So you can actually see how much damage that is, rather than, like, what the hell a bet takes from it, you know?
I think we should reevaluate our friendship with Dex if this is what we think of him as. Just a punching bag.
It's called training with your friends.
It's a bit one-sided.
Alright. Anyway. Alright, Dex. Alright, so we've got Anubis. So, I'm gonna use an Anubis. So here's an Anubis. Hey, you see Cuss Sword counting up, by the way? It was at 250 before, like, it finished.
Right.
Alright, so this one is Poison Mask first. Mask, Face, Anubis. There it is, the Pharaoh. Now what? Look at that health. Look at that drop.
Oh boy.
500, 400, 300, 200, 100. Let's recover 200. All right. Nice try, buddy. This is the power of the Pharaoh. Look at that shit.
Gym Leader Dex used the super oh, fuck.
Alright, let's go do the other side of it, which is going to be, Alright, I think Bear Sword, if I knew, is inputs? But I don't remember how to do the inputs on it. There's Poison Face. You punch me in the face. Alright, Cuss Sword, Bear Sword, Proto-Man V3. Let's check out the damage.
Hold the button and rotate the control. Oh, shit. On a GBA? Ugh.
Yeah, it's a literal input.
I mean, I guess it's better than most because the D-pad is kind of sunk in. The incline is nice and smooth.
There we go. Like, you can do, like, different... You can do a bunch of different swords based on if you do a Hadoken input or a, like... That's why it's variable.
It's better than a fucking N64 joystick.
Well, the thing is, it's nice because it gives you a confirmation. Like, it'll make that little bleep noise when you hit it correct. And you just have to hold the chip button. The problem is it puts you in, like, a very, like, precarious position. Okay, folder 2. We've got a couple, a bit more to show. And then one last thing to show off with the game itself. And then we're finished. Left B, right B gives you 3 shockwaves. Oh boy. Okay, so there's one Poison Face out.
By the way, have you seen like the stuff that they had to do for Mario Party releases on NSO? And by stuff that they had to do, I mean like the bare minimum. We don't actually give a shit, but people are going to complain.
I'm not familiar with, no.
Mario Party 1 is infamous for having a lot of mini games that had you rotate.
They just put like a, hey, just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Come on. I'm just gonna put... Alright, so this is showing off a very different Program Advance. We're gonna need to add these 3. So this is Shadow Man's Program Advance. There was a note on the board that talked about it. That told us kind of how to do it. So it's drop down, anti-damage, Shadow Man. I'll show it drop down and anti-damage too, because those are also cool chips. Alright, Bodyguard here whips. Check this out.
What the fuck?
People love Bodyguard. So Gator is the like busted Program Advance because it's very easy to get. Bodyguard is, I believe, 16 hits, 100 each.
It's the actual strongest one. It's just so much harder.
Right, because anti-damage and drop-down are really hard chips to come by, and Shadow Man is a much harder boss than... not much harder. Shadow Man, like, is deeper in the net. You can't just go walk and talk to him like Gate Man. But that Program Advance, just wild. Yeah, if you want to beat Deluxe Base, easy. We just walk in there with a bunch of, attack pluses. And it's just the end of the fight. Anti-damage is actually a really cool one. Here, I'm going to put on anti-damage. You have a little doll.
Nice substitute.
Alright, a quick change we'll make here in the folder is we're going to go ahead and take out Shadow Man. Then we're going to go ahead and put in Guts Man. I don't know what this one's gonna do because this one might also be changed. Alright, so it's... Oh no, it's guard dash attack. I have gut punch on. Whoops.
Gets me every time.
It's so good. Okay. Does this last until I hit? No, it's not until I hit cost. Okay. So I need to switch over one new chip into the thing to show off. Oh, we got Gut Punch from the victory here.
Nice.
Okay. Folder. Nope. That's those. Everything was wrong there. We need to change out Gut Punch, and that has to become Guard. Wait. Oh.
Hold on, wait a minute, one moment, let me fix this.
Why couldn't I find Guard? Could be anything. Alright. So let's see if this works. Alright. Guard dash Gutsman.
Let's shoot. Get out of here.
We're fucking gone.
Is it because we're in the middle of a fight and Dex is like, no, we don't get to tactic. We're fighting.
No, that's a change for, yeah, sorry, that runs from the fight? That's incredible. Because we can't have it, like, I'm so happy I had it tested on Guts, man. So yeah, that would retreat from a fight on any other. I get, is that, so that's a change on the G code thing as well? Or is that like, I've never, anyway.
What?
Yeah, so yeah, because of the G code change. Alright, so we have one last bit to show off. We got 5 stars. That's great.
You're great.
Anyway, I'm gonna put in a code there. And because we have 5 stars, we can now start a new game on a new file, on a second file that doesn't interrupt the first file on hard mode. Like, after you beat everything, the game unlocks a hard mode. And there's a bunch of changes. A bunch of required fights are now shifted to be much more difficult. I'm gonna go ahead and save here. Network is just disabled. It's a whole different game, effectively. I mean, it's the same game, but a whole different, like, playthrough. Enemies just have more health. Yeah, 50% more health on everything. It's just a huge shift. But, most importantly, if I hit reset here, it's a different file.
I see.
So, like, this game, after you do everything, unlocks save file 2 to give you hard mode. Once you've broken its back on everything it has to offer, it goes, alright, let's go. Round 2. We're not gonna be doing round 2.
With bigger number.
Well, you know, it's yeah, let me pull, list of changes. It's mostly just a, like, numbers are bigger change. Enemies have 50% more health, you take 50% more damage. You can't use the network menu because that would let you, like, cheat in bits, like cheat in stuff. But and then a number of the fights in the game are just, like, upgraded. Like a bunch of fights that aren't nabbies. So, like, any of the license exams have harder fights. The fights that are, like, getting back your passport is harder fights. For instance, license exam 1, the first fight is against 2 Mets. Instead, that fight is against a Met and 2 Mets 2s. Or a fight that was against 3 Mets is against 2 Flamies and a Met. So, but yeah, that's the last little feature that I want to wager, like, you know, very, very few people ever found this, ever used this, ever knew that there was a second file on your damn game, which is just wild that it can just, you know, it could do it. It can save a second file on your card. So,
what do you mean this Catzel has 2 layers?
It does. So if you want to run it back in hard mode, you can do that. Yeah, so that's the last bit I wanted to show off because I think that's super cool. Yeah, like unlocking this legit. Like, obviously we didn't do this legit on our end. The problem with doing it legit in full is actually the 10 network chips. Everything else is like, you know, you can just do it in game, but those network ones require, you know, extra people. Anyway, that's gonna be it for Meaman Battle Network 2. As I've mentioned, just a huge fan of this game, this series. I had forgotten how much I like the post game in this game. I remember Mega Man Battle Network 3 and its post game and its game and stuff, and thought, okay, yeah, I love that stuff. But like, the post game in this is like really good. It even gives a second set of credits, basically. Obviously not credits, but like your results screen, and that's really neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you Vpris for joining along on this. Glad.
No problem.
Oh boy, do we go into 3 or do we go to network transmission?
I think we take a break and go to network transmission. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So 3 will be coming soon, but we're gonna take a sidestep into a game that was released for the GameCube. That was one of the side games for Battle Network. Network transmission, absolutely something different. I remember enjoying it a lot when I played it as a kid, but I can definitely say I also just loved anything that had to do with Battle Network with no critical eye to any of it. So, probably didn't think
you're fine. The music's a bop no matter what.
Yeah, so that's where we're going to start next time. So if you want to catch that or anything else, you can follow, subscribe, support the channel and all that. Thank you for all you joining and having fun time in here. Really like to hear all your stories about, your experiences with this series and how, or like, hearing that you've gone back and explored it yourself, because there's a lot to explore. We've showed off a lot, and even here, there's a whole mode I'm not even touching. It's a whole bunch, so hope you had a fun time. We'll be continuing this next weekend, 2 Central, and then all the other stream stuff that goes on in a week. Morrowind tomorrow, cards on Tuesday. We're going to be starting Live Alive not on this Thursday, but next Thursday. I'll be mentioning that a couple other times in places too. So, anyway, thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.